Live. Don, start that music, bro. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Adulting with your hosts, Jordan Carlos and Michelle Buteau.
Okay, now we're on.
Guys, this is America's Got Talent, everybody.
We did it. We did it.
Hey,
Holy
everybody.
crap. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Why do we hear ourselves? This is
with your
so
host,
messy.
Jordan Carlos.
What I love is. Okay, now we're on.
America's Got Talent. Look, I just want to let everybody know that this was not my idea. Not my idea. I feel like I don't know what's too soon. Now, but
What's lovely about this is how
now,
delayed. What I love is. Yeah.
mute yourself. Turn that off. Why are we hearing it?
He muted himself, really.
He just muted it. No, but like mute your computer. Oh, wait a minute. This is horrible. This is just, look, it's going to get better. You know why? Because I put on eyeliner. I have a dream catcher. I'm still trying to dream big, although I had a dream last night that I was loading the dishwasher. That wasn't fun. And I had a dream I stepped on a rubber bullet. Look, not about that right now.
At least you didn't get hit with the rubber bullet. It was a stepped on the bullet.
Thank you for.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm coming in.
Thank you so much, Roy. Thank you. Here with Jordan Carlos.
Nothing matters. Turn down the volume in the YouTube feed or put on some headphones. That's all we got to do. All right, I'm gone.
No, wait a minute. You know him from the Daily Show.
Wait. How did Roy Zoom bomb his own show?
Come on, come back, Roy.
Yeah, all Jordan has to do is turn down the volume on his YouTube feed where he's monitoring the live feed, or he can just put on some headphones real quick, some earbuds. How you been, Michelle?
What a loaded question, Roy. Real talk. I'm all over the place.
Don't you hate that question? To be fair, don't even answer it. It's been 4 months of quarantine.
Yes.
And it's just people basically low-key trying to ask you, have you lost your shit yet?
It's true.
How bad has it gotten for you? Like, that's all people want to know. They just want to know horrible stories about you becoming unstable and
it's true. Let me ask you a
unraveling.
question. What did you think of COVID like in January? Like, where were you at with this?
Man, that's some shit over there. That's messed up what's happening in Seattle. Anyway, I have a show in Pittsburgh. Come see me.
Right.
And it was, I think, mid-February when I was like, all right, this seems a little weird. And then the numbers started spiking. And then I did the math. I was at the Pittsburgh Improv the end of February, and I did the math. And I was like, just off meet and greet, I've shaken over 1,100 people's hands over the course of 3 days. 1,100 people. And I was like, that doesn't seem good. Yeah, I'm just not going to meet people after the show for the rest of the weekend. And then the next week, Daily Show shut down the studios and everything. You know, New York City pretty much shut down altogether. And after that, that's when the quarantine really started.
I mean,
The thing that
go ahead.
the thing that I found interesting about quarantine is how you can tell which one of your friends takes it seriously and which ones don't.
That part.
And so this is going to feel like ages ago, but do you remember when they canceled the Summer Olympics back in like March or April? That same week, this is when sports started falling off early in the pandemic. No baseball, no basketball. And then they said no Olympics. The same day the Olympics announced they were shutting down, I got an email from my family saying, and this is the subject line, we are considering postponing the Jones family reunion.
Considering.
Considering. Bitch, they canceled the Olympics. You think I'm gonna come stand out in the heat in Memphis and get coughed on by one of you Mississippi? No. And granted, I'm from Alabama. I ain't hating on Mississippi, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I was just not going to do that. I was not. There's just no way, no chance. Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Not a chance in the least.
I taped my Netflix special March 1st, and I only picked that date, and it was early for everybody involved, but I picked that date because it was my grandma's birthday, and my grandma. Hey, Mavis.
Hey, Mavis.
Oh,
And so I love her. I talk to her all the time. I feel like she's always looking out for me. And I was like, oh, that's so nice. I'm gonna pick that date. Then like 13 days later, the world shut the fuck down. And I was like, thank you, Grandma, for making sure I get that check. Crazy.
Yo, I don't know what stand-up is gonna look like on TV. You know, I saw an article, I don't know if it was in Variety or the Hollywood Reporter, where they're talking about digitally adding in people in the background of outdoor show. Basically, what's the future of television where tech is concerned in terms of creating crowds in places where a filmmaker needs a crowd? They might do that shit with stand-up while you bullshit. Like, they might just put you on stage in an empty room and then just insert the crowd in post and just add laughs.
Stand up at a drive-in. I did stand up at a drive-in.
How was that?
It was all I dreamed of doing. It was definitely a high watermark in my career. I opened for because after that Trolls 2 World Tour went on, so it felt, you know what I'm saying, it feels good. It's a credit, you know, it's really a credit in the parking lot. And what we know of it is, here's the thing, it was like, you know, they would honk and like light their lights if they liked what you had to say. And I think Michelle and I were talking about it before. Black folks were just like, you know, they would like hit the hydraulics and shit if they were really, if they liked it, you know, the jokes and stuff. So that was good. Or the windshield wipers.
Boy, did you ever do stand up at
They
this
were bumping
place?
other cars.
Did you ever do stand up at this place in Compton where if they like your
No,
they throw
I can tell you right now, no. No, I just, there's no disrespect to Compton. It's just about not
That
knowing the
was
rules of particular
amazing. You didn't even let her
neighborhoods.
finish.
Okay.
But what did they do? I would love to know what they did, because
If
I'm
they
sure
like
it was.
joke, they throw money at you.
No, I would have. I wish I'd have done this place.
Yeah, it was like a strip show.
Right.
But I mean, you don't have to strip, but your jokes were basically it's so fucking dumb.
There was a club in Atlanta, the old Uptown on Peachtree over in Buckhead, where they would jingle car keys if they hated you.
They hated
And you, like, it was louder than a boo. Like, you cannot talk over car keys.
That is so fucked up.
That's
I feel like
crazy.
somebody
200 car keys, just you can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
Wild.
so many levels to this way, like 2020, so many fucking levels, right? So, you know, Jordan's wife said it best when she was just like, I don't know why science is being politicized. Boom. Everybody has a different idea of what the fuck sick is, right? But
Correct.
if you gotta sneeze or cough or fart, get the fuck away from me. That's number one. Also, wash your hands after you take a shit. That's one. Then the quarantining, whether you're single or with somebody, and it's so hard, even if you love that person, it is so hard. And I want to ask you how quarantining has been for you, but you know, you can be as as you want.
Well, you all know me. I don't really bite my tongue on much of anything.
Sure.
I love my girl, I love my child, but I took for granted how much being on the road as a comedian gave me needed alone time for my own personal growth and creativity. Being alone is an important part of my creative process, period. And it's something I wouldn't have been able to unequivocally say if not for quarantine. So now we spent the first 3 months in New York, the first two months or so in New York. Right. And then I was just like, yo, we need backup. We got to drive to my mama house. We got to go to Alabama. And so we drove 15 hours to Alabama thinking we would have an extra set of hands and let my mom run interference. Wrong. She's a college administrator. They on Zoom chats till 4:30 in the afternoon every day. So I've traded what was a remotely quiet apartment for a much louder house because there's another person running their mouth all day. and there's nowhere to hide from a 4-year-old. They find you. They can smell you. And it's, the first thing, it is going to sound crazy. The first thing I'm going to do when the travel restrictions are lifted is go somewhere to be alone. And I think my girl will want to go do the same. I really think it's mutual. I don't know where my son will be during this time, where we are both somewhere alone, but maybe he needs to be alone too. So he can appreciate us.
When did you know? Let me ask you this, Roy. A lot of people have been asking this. In quarantine, when did you know that you would make it in your relationship? Because a lot of people have not escaped from quarantine.
Yesterday for me.
Yesterday was.
Yeah, it's a lot of divorces. My girl and I have an unspoken way of knowing whose turn it is to do stuff. Like, you know how like in a beehive or an ant colony, an ant is never assigned a role. It just starts doing the thing that it does instinctively. Okay. And so there's a lot of that between she and I, where I might cook and she'll come in and start dishes, or I might read to him and I got to take a call. And without saying anything, she just walks right over and continues the book that I would have been reading to my son. And we've never been in a situation where our work overlaps our home life. And she's also, she's an entrepreneur. So she's doing shoe design stuff. So she's not working a proper 9 to 5 either. So, like right now, she's outside the room on a Zoom chat doing fashion shit. My son is still napping. He'll wake up in 20 minutes. One of us, maybe my mom, will just give him a tablet with some learning shit and put some headphones on him. Because I don't know what it is about kids. When you put headphones on them, they shut the fuck up. So it's just this weird synergy where we both know how to just, I don't know, but I'd say probably about 3 or 4 weeks in.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I thought it was kind of ironic that you say that, because usually a male bee or an ant gets thrown out of the hive or mound and killed. But you work something out, and that's good.
Touche. Yes, the queen.
The week for me felt like the first 2 weeks felt like I was snorkeling. I'm like, this is so beautiful, but I can't breathe. I'm with my family. I love you guys so much. I work so hard to have you. Yeah. Like, I was so anxious, and I really got mad at my husband all the time. So I'm just like, why aren't you worried? Why aren't you getting up? Why aren't you doing this? Why are you letting them fall? And he's like, their heads are very hard. I'm like, that's not the point. Like, we can't go to a hospital right now. And I'm like, you just don't care. And he's like, I do care. And then he hit me with some shit, and I was like, yuck. He was like, I don't have to be anxious to show that I care. Like, that's your thing. And I'm like, Siri, give me a therapist immediately. A Black woman therapist. But like, he's got a point, which I don't like. But, I also realize that we parent in different ways.
My girl is for sure she has concern about the virus, but she's definitely the one that's quicker to say, hey, let's go outside for a walk. Yeah. And I'm like, are you crazy? That's where the zombies are. Yeah. And so it's like very intentional. And the thing that's weird about coming to Alabama, and part of the reason for that was so our son could have some space. And my mom's got plenty of yard. We can go play. But then imagine you're safe in this house where everyone is quarantining, but then the ice cream truck passes by, which just reminds you that you're surrounded by people who don't take it serious at all. Like, at least in New York, there's some people that care. Alabama, most people down here don't care. Like, I've been invited to barbecues and Juneteenth events. I'm like, I'm not coming out there to catch COVID.
Oh my God.
Mess around, catch that 19 on the 19th. I just came up with
19 has a whole different meaning.
That was a bar.
So what phase?
Whole different meaning.
The June COVID-19th.
Yeah, what phase are you in then? What phase of opening are you in?
We're like phase 3. Like, restaurants are dine-in. Yeah. As our infection rates are at the highest they've ever been since the outbreak started, restaurants are reopening. They're having gatherings in parks, encouraging social distancing, but nobody's enforcing it. It's just,
Have you been to a protest? Have you been to a protest?
No, but I went to cleanup. So we had a protest down here, initially after George Floyd, when everything started kind of bubbling up nationally, which rolled into a protest of people protesting a Confederate monument. A local guy, Jermaine Johnson, kind of led a group of people to a Confederate monument. It's like, yo, since we down here for Black righteousness, we need to get this statue up out of here too. Mayor Randall Woodfin pulls in and goes, yo, I hear y'all. Give me a day. I'll get you a crane. Sure enough, brings the crane. The people that were there say, yay, we got the statue down. Let's get up some shit. And so there were, I will say, outside players who came into the Birmingham area and tore up a lot of stuff. And so, where COVID is concerned, I'll be honest, I got a lot of concerns with that, but there's still a lot of different ways that you can contribute. And so I went downtown the next day and, just did a bunch of cleanup because it's fewer people, it's much more space, and you're still contributing. I've done what I can to try and help fundraise and, try to be a beacon for the city. But no, like the actual physical protests in downtown Birmingham and Alabama, where the COVID rate is literally higher than it was in New York at its peak.
Yeah.
I just think it goes back to the beehive thing. Everybody got a part to play. My part is not being in the protest. There's other ways to help build the hive.
Yeah. I tried to talk to Jordan about this before because, between COVID and the information coming in quicker than we can like really digest it, and then everybody's got an opinion, and there's always like opinion articles, and it's like, what is real, what is not, and then to have this revolution start happening, I'm like, I'm really trying to figure out what the difference is, because these videos have always been out, these stories have always happened, they've been in newspaper articles, it's a part of history. It's like, what about these deaths this year, is really the straw that broke the camel toe?
I caught that. I think it's COVID. I think COVID is a big part of it, and increased unemployment. People have already been in the pressure cooker for 2 months before what happened with George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery and, Sister Jefferson over in Louisville. So I'm sorry, Breonna Taylor over in Louisville.
Yeah, McAtee.
I'm thinking Atiana Jefferson. I'm thinking a different Black woman who died in her home when the police, I'm sorry, you get it confused because the police screw up so much. I think that people were in such a pressure cooker, that you then add death on top of it, and you're like, yo, I ain't got no job. I'm already angry. This little funky ass 1,200 the government gave me then dried up. I don't care anymore. If nothing else, I want one victory this year. So I'm gonna head on out into these streets. And so, that's, to me, I honestly believe that's the difference.
And what do you think about these apology texts coming in from white friends? You don't have to answer. I just want to say, you don't have to reply. Like the apology tour. I mean, are you getting these texts and emails?
I'm okay with it, man. I don't really reply. I make them sweat. I don't reply right away. Like I wait like 5 hours, make them think they did something wrong. But if you white and you ain't done the work yet and you're just trying to do something, you're in a panic, you're going to try anything. White people, they trying anything. Some talk, some don't, some dance, some give money, they was out there washing people's feet at the protest. I think, was that Louisville where they were washing feet? Like a bunch of pastors?
I think so. I saw that. Yeah.
They were washing Black women's feet at a protest.
They were bowing down to him too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
People taking knees with us, white people putting on kente cloth, kneeling in the Capitol House. So you're going to get a lot of variety of white apologies because they're just trying to do something,
They were washing feet? Did they
literally?
Did they have moisturizer there too?
No. I don't know that much.
It was aluminum tub. It was like the Jesus foot wash. It was like spiritual, like prayer foot wash. I don't know the book of the Bible they pulled it from, but it was
there's a lot of ways to say I'm sorry, I suppose.
That's amazing. Washing the feet.
Yeah.
Let's take a couple questions for Roy, because I know he's got
I don't know.
What we got?
Jordan, can you ask a question?
Absolutely. I can do that. Hold on one second. I got you.
Because the show was called Adulting when we used to do shows. When
Yeah, BC.
we were able to go out. God, I hope he's not reelected. What's the question?
You want this
This
question? Okay, here's a very quick question. All right.
Yeah.
Do I invoice my partner for buying all the groceries or just wait? They eat ... I shop and cook with my money.
And I assume they live together?
If someone knows
person.
what he tastes like, then you should feed them.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but should you invoice them after it's all done?
Why?
Because you're buying everything.
You should have a conversation with them about splitting expenses like a fucking adult is what you should do. Hence the name of this podcast, you fucking child. I'm sorry, that's disrespect. I'm attacking your listeners.
No,
These
it's
are
okay.
valuable...
You haven't spoken to people in a long time.
I mean,
you can't suffer fools anymore.
Listen, if you're gonna invoice somebody, just break up. Real talk. Like, you're just being petty. It's unnecessary and it's incendiary, and it's not going to solve anything.
If you can do this with the kindness of your heart, karma will be good to you.
Or you know what you're gonna get? You're gonna be the couple where you just both do your own thing every night. What you eating? I already ate, and that's gonna be corrosive.
Yeah, that's why. Not get a roommate or some cats. What's the next question?
Next question is this. Hold up. Let's do this one. One second. I found a good one down here. There's a lot. We had a lot of questions. All right. I have a question. My aunt. Oh, Lord. Hold on. Adulting question. I'm recovering from COVID-19. Yep, it sucks. Despite being super vigilant with masking, quarantine, social distancing, sanitizing, this shit is contagious, yo. I know I got this. I have 63 friends in the community. Blah, blah, blah. What is this person? Okay. I can't even, the question's too long.
What's the question?
It went on for a page. Here's a question. 2020 is rough. Sunscreen or do I even bother?
Man.
Why are you going outside?
Yeah, you already caught the shit. Well, there's a group of people based on not knowing any information from the experts. There's some people who think, well, I already caught it. Beach time, baby.
Yeah, beaches aren't open in New York, thank God, because we're really good at being close to someone with still feeling like we have our own space. So this is like a very new thing for New Yorkers in the 5 boroughs to be like, back up, too close. Because, yeah.
But people go to the beach. People go to the beach in New York. It's just not open, meaning that no lifeguards are on duty.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So people go to the beach in New York all the time, but there's just no lifeguards.
Next
so you
question.
gotta watch.
So yeah.
The next question is pretty crazy. It's from Lantaran. It says, "How gross can my house get before I need to really be ashamed of it?"
Ooh, honey, if you can't see the floor of Hoarders, or if you can smell stuff or stuff is growing fungus, get it together. You know what I mean? If you can't find basic shit because it's covered in like wrappers, we're all like low key depressed. But come on.
The bathroom,
the side of your house out.
The bathroom is the telltale. It's the longest to get dirty.
Yeah.
So if you got the rings around the toilet, or you got mold growing at the water line in your toilet bowl, you're a pretty filthy piece of shit. Dirt around the tub, and then the sink.
I don't understand how I've been to people's places where their toilet is dirty, and I'm like, how? This is like, it doesn't have to be, there shouldn't be like a white glove test, but how are you taking a shit on, like, these are the people that definitely put skin to skin on, they definitely sit on a toilet seat like in a park, like in public. So I'm like, yuck.
Yo,
good for you.
I found out a partner of mine be raw dogging toilet seats, and I've judged them for the rest. Like
yeah, you should.
I don't. A grown man in his 40s just out here raw dogging toilets. Like, man, ain't no thing, man.
Reckless.
No, when girls do that, I'm like, who hurt you? You were
Yeah.
so incredible.
Yeah, when the dick touched the porcelain, that's disgusting. Let me just say one thing. Okay.
Oh, terrible.
This question is insane. I have a question. My aunt just admitted my cousin to a mental institution for dating a Black female. Should I call her out on social media? I do not know what else to do.
I remember this question because I told her, like,
Wow.
the Black Lives Matter movement, you know, if you were being silent, then you were being complicit. So it is hard to have these conversations and to say something, but you have to say something. If you are truly an ally, if you truly believe Black Lives Matter, if you truly believe that love is love, then say something. Plus, she older than you, she might die first anyways, who cares?
That is crazy.
Ugh.
I know. That is like a American Horror Story season.
You may as well say something because you're trying to figure out a way to love someone that doesn't love themselves or other people. So that relationship is already flawed. So whatever hesitancies you have so that it's not awkward at Thanksgiving, it's just going to be awkward from her end when she goes, who was over there? Hope that nigger ain't coming to the Thanksgiving. Like, so either way, your all family functions are fucked.
Yeah.
So you may as well be on the right side of it.
Yeah.
Of history. I mean, I think that you already have your answer, but it's just like that is it's easy for us to say. It's hard to do. I understand.
It's hard.
But
it's really hard. You don't want to go along to get along that much. I mean, you know, I always talk about when my twins were supposed to be baptized, and then when everybody, by an uncle who's a priest, and when like everybody found out that the godmothers were gay, they were like, we can't. You got to find somebody else because the church doesn't recognize that. And I'm like, I'm. Well, then we're just going to have a blessing, you know, at home, because I can't rightfully say you are my chosen family, but because this institution doesn't see you as a person, it's like, it's hard to stand in your truth, but it is so important because then you'll be able to sleep at night.
Yeah.
God damn. But I guess this is like,
now, if you really want to piss your aunt off, get yourself a Black girlfriend too. That's how you spice up Thanksgiving.
Yes. Tell her to watch Orange is the New Black. She into it.
Double down.
Research.
Doubling down.
Thank you, Jen G. Okay.
And video it and put it on TikTok.
Last question, because I know Roy got to get back to his fatherly duties and.
He's up. He's awake, like right on time.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm gonna. There's two questions. One is about like proposing to someone, and the other one is about age appropriate. Like, let's just go with the wedding one. All right. Here's an adulting question. Buddy Ruse says, just under 2 years, this guy's waited to propose to his girl. Then he got put into lockdown, right? And now he's waited even longer. He's wondering, should he ask till quarantine is lifted to propose, or to do it in the middle of all of this?
Middle of all of this.
Yeah.
Unless you're with some woman that wants the big grand pomp and circumstance, roses and doves ass proposal. But if you're dealing with a woman that just loves you for you and just wants you to make the jump, I think risking infection, nothing says I love you more, because women just want to know you risk something. Well, I risk my lungs to come bring you this ring.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. I'm just saying, you know, everybody needs a light at the end of this tunnel. This is something to look forward to plan when you can. It'll be a story for the ages. And yeah,
I disagree.
So it'll also, you know, it'll be something new and fun for her to sort of plan.
I disagree.
Okay.
Wait till it's all over, when the dust settles. She has that. If she's like, when it's all over, if she doesn't, the night before you propose, right? Plan to propose a couple nights out after it's all over, when you get the code, you know, code green. And then she's like, then the night before, she's probably like, we need to talk. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know. She's been waiting. She's been waiting. You know, and so keep that ring. I say keep the ring, wait. Wait.
I say don't wait. What if she's planning?
It's a lot of dudes in them DMs. It's a lot of dudes in them DMs chipping away at her patience. I'm just okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, it was so good to see you, Roy. Honestly.
Yeah, man.
and that well-made bed. I hope you guys are just doing your thing. And
That's my mama's bed. I have to make that clear because I don't want anybody thinking that I just got a bed that looked like that.
All right, I love you. Take care. I hope to see you at some point next week.
All right, see y'all.
Wash your hands. Bye. Yes. More yes. Wow, it's so good to see him.
Don Will. Jordan and Don Will.
Listen.
Don, how are you, man? Your hair looks amazing, dude.
It always looks good.
I had to take my hat off because Michelle thinks I don't have hair. So I was like, I got to just show the world.
I mean, I didn't think you have legs either because you're always behind a DJ. But it is what it is.
Me and Jordan are basically the same person right now. We have a gray shirt, no haircut, glasses.
I know. I'd be a terrible character witness. I'd be like, well,
but I've been
like officer.
So wait, Michelle, you got your hair done though. So how do you? Did you get your hair done? Where do you
go to a salon? What happened?
Out there, motherfucker. Yes, you were just waiting to put a motherfucker out there so people what the my spare time.
I'm curious.
I do the alcohol. I got the signs up. A friend that does hair, her shop is closed, and so she was like, I was like, can you help me? And she was like, yes, but this is how we do it safely. And so, you know, I have a room that's not no furniture in it, and so we basically had plus size hazmat suits on, masks, gloves, did it real quick, and I'm so glad that I'm so glad that I had interaction with another person that's also been quarantined. Yeah. I'm so glad that I did something for myself. I'm so glad I was able to help my friend, you know, do a job. So yeah, that part. I know a lot of people have been doing their own hair, and good for them.
And you look great.
Yeah, you look fantastic. Your hair is wonderful.
Start with that.
I was halfway expecting Jordan to show up with like a
I'm so scared to get my hair cut. It's just I think I'm at like civil rights activists at this point in the 1960s.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Whenever we're tired of coming down here marching for our rights. Like that's what it is.
We should get to our next guest because I would love to check in with him, and I'd also love to get to these questions.
Yes, there's a lot of questions. They're just lengthy and not short.
I love that people.
But
what?
No, I was just gonna say one thing.
Oh,
which is that we should kind of give a little build up to this guy. I mean, he's now a veteran on SNL, a Chicago native, and just one of the. I mean, you can count on him for just the jokes every time on Saturday night, which I love.
You know how some people say you walk into a room and then you light that room up? That's really him. He's like pure sentiment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Chris Red. Hold on. Come on, Chris Red. There he is. There he is.
That was bumping, bro. That was bumping shit. What's good, y'all?
Let it ride.
I can't believe we're doing this, but you know.
Hey man, y'all the only people I woke up for. It's Juneteenth, nigga. You know.
Juneteenth.
We haven't even talked about what Juneteenth actually is.
Oh, talk about it. You're like
we haven't talked about it. 1865 it was when they told us we were free. They were a little late getting us the message. It's the day we got. You know, it was a game of white telephone, and they had a discussion in the room that let niggas free, and they're like, tell them eventually, and they got to us around about 18 months later. So. It was still kind of hard after that, but you know, it was a day to celebrate.
Oh man, I feel like I'm in AP Black History right now. That's great.
And my pops was like, yeah, you gotta put a chain on, because now we were free from our chains, so to have a chain of our choosing.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, nigga, I woke up.
oh.
I woke up beat today.
I'm about to go to Jared's right now.
Don't go to Jared's, go to Dwayne's. Black
Oh,
owned.
okay, go to Wayne's.
Oh my God.
All right.
Where are you right now?
I'm in Mississippi, man. A lot of S's. Yeah, I was in New York for like 3.5 months in a 1-bedroom apartment, which gets smaller every day. That pandemic, I couldn't do it anymore, so I took a road trip down here, like right as the protests were kicking off. So I was like, road tripping during the uprising is like it's a little hectic. We had to kind of reroute everything just to make sure we didn't drive through any crazy cities.
Yeah.
We made it down here. This is where all my family is, so I'm chilling.
What part of Mississippi?
Right outside of Jackson. It's called Flowwood.
Flowwood. Okay.
Yeah, my folks are from Jackson, and they grew up here, which from the stories sounds terrible. So they retired back here to live in a white neighborhood they could never walk in, which is like the coldest shit ever.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
No, my mom is from Jackson.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. Where at?
So she's from, Lord, what's the name of it? Ferris Street, which is down near the Capitol. It's an
Right.
old,
Oh, okay. Yeah. You like right by the city.
Yeah.
We're in Brandon. They didn't want to get a house in Brandon, but
I know Brandon. Yeah.
5 minutes away.
Yeah. So we probably cousins.
Right.
It's nice.
Yo, every time I come down here, like, yo, let's go out and meet some girls. I'm like, nah, I don't know, nigga. I'm related to everything.
Jackson, you probably cousins, man.
I can't do it. I just come down here and stay the family. Let's play some
You go over to Tougaloo?
My dad went to Tougaloo. That's
Tougaloo?
Tougaloo's a weird name for a college. Tougaloo is like the hula hoop of college names.
Tougaloo you.
Tougaloo you.
Tougaloo. Oh, Tougaloo is, we're just talking about some Mississippi stuff that y'all don't know about, but Mississippi has a school.
And it needs help. And we love Tougaloo.
Love Tougaloo.
That was actually one of my last trips before the pandemic really hit, was Mississippi, but it was a beach town.
Biloxi?
I don't know. I should look it up. It's where
You went to St. Joe's too.
And I was down there just eating my face off and shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, this is beautiful as fuck. Stacey Abrams is from that neighborhood. I don't remember.
She is. That my dad went to school with her older brother.
Oh, right on.
He won't stop saying it every time she come on TV.
I wouldn't either. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Well, shit, you were driving, trying to avoid. I can't even imagine the GPS be like, to avoid tolls and protests. It's like, what the fuck?
I mean, not even avoid a protest, but just avoid white niggas and what they doing and their craziness.
How do you see? This is the conversations, whether it's on the phone or online, are so fucking annoying to have. When people, let me just ask you a question. When people are like, why are you looting your neighborhood? Why are you looting? Like, and I understand Killer Mike's standpoint, and that was beautiful. But what do you guys say to people who are like, why would anyone loot?
It's first it's like, okay, this system was built for us. It's a hamster wheel, right? Capitalism is a hamster wheel. So even at the top of it, you're still kind of running in place. So we don't, as much as you think you own the things around you and in our communities, it's still their land and it's still their shit. And there's a kind of anger that comes with protesting and uprising where you just want to burn shit down. So I don't see any kind of uprising and protest happening where you're not gonna get a little bit of people being like, "Hey, fuck all this. I deserve this for all the shit that I have to take all throughout my life." And now there was other parts of the looting that was like organized to make it to take away from the protests and all that. But I think that I don't see a way to fight against oppression and not take some shit, not take a jersey or two, nigga. That's just my full take on it.
Well said. I think that there's two ways of looting, right? There's looting like the way the 1% does it through like not paying taxes or anything like that. And then if you are the other 99%, you pay your taxes all the time. The prices of everything goes up and up and up. People are just getting that 5-finger discount because it's like that's what it is. It's like imagine a world where you're told to want these things, but you can't have them.
Yeah.
And then it's just a holiday.
And then you lose your job, your home, and you're not getting any information from the president who's supposed to be briefing us on some shit because he acts like it's a rally. And journalists are out there putting themselves at risk, getting yelled at by this president, really getting no fucking information. And so they're waiting on the phone, trying to get unemployment, can't get through, waiting for their check. Now all of a sudden they're angry, they hurt, and their kid needs a fucking new clothes because now their kid is fucking, they grow so fast. Yeah, I'm gonna go into Old Navy and get those fucking sweatshirts.
Yeah, dog. I can hold a sign and take a pair of jeans. Nigga, I can do both of these things.
Multitasking.
But I also feel it shows, like, you know, here in New York, people went to Macy's, right? And I was like, even in New York, even in chaos, people are like, let me get a discount. I was like, have the consumer confidence to go to like Bergdorf Goodman, Saks Fifth Avenue. What are you doing? You know, that's consumer confidence.
I would have looted Ruth Chris, to be very real with y'all. I would have looted all the meats, all the steaks about that bitch. Nah, because they took that PPP, they took that protection plan, man. And you know, they ain't need all that shit. I'm taking all the utensils. I'm gonna be, you know, you gonna come to my house. We gonna have the flyest knives and forks, the fattest steaks.
Just slabs of beef.
Just slabs of beef. You know, we in the South, man. We got 17 refrigerators.
Sure.
Absolutely. The pork fridge, the beef fridge, all the fridges.
That's the steak fridge right there. Now, the chicken's over there. Don't go in there. We just got that. We're getting low on chicken fridge, you know.
Now, are you back? I don't know if you're at your parents' house, but do you have rules about, they have the grease rules? The chicken grease and the pig grease? Yeah,
well, there's no real rules. The only rule is if you see some oil liquid sitting in a cup somewhere, don't just pour that shit out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you gotta put it somewhere, double bag it, put it. Sometimes I just reuse it for French fries or something because it's flavor. But like, look,
absolutely,
you can just pour it down the sink. I want to visit your parents.
Yeah, no, they cool, man. I've been trying to get them on alkaline water. I drink nothing but the freshest, the best for your immune system. They got a bunch of bad bottled water in there, and I'm like, yo, y'all gotta drink this water. And my mom's like, I don't like that water. I like the trash. You know, I'm like, all right.
What do your parents think about what's going on right now?
Both of them are equally about time. It's just cool to see. And we talk about this shit all the time, and just how this generation, this Gen Z, is the generation that's phased out of the basically this American dream that they try to establish on us, and being like, nah, fuck all that. We're like all these activists that came before us. We're gonna fucking take it a step further, and that's what is beautiful about this generation coming up, man. It's dope just to see them all fighting out there.
Did your parents ever give you a talking to about how to handle the police if they ever pull you over?
Yeah, but it didn't work. I mean, I got arrested in front of my house, like sitting in front of my house having a conversation with my friend. Niggas put me in cuffs, and they were like, "Where do you live?" I was like, "Right here, nigga, right here."
Oh shit!
I'm in cuffs, and I'm like, I have my garage door opener right here, and I opened the garage from my pocket in cuffs. And he looked at the garage like, how that nigga do that? It's not magic, nigga. I live.
Yeah, it's magic, Michael,
my mom's came out like, man, you don't have to pretend you know him. Nigga, look at our nose. Like, it was why man, like I just knew that, like, no matter what you did, and I was an angry kid, so I was always just like, well, I'm gonna go out just yelling. But once I got older, the rules, we learned the rules real young because they came from here, and we've always been on high alert, which I would love to have a world where we don't have to grow up like that,
Right.
But I feel like, so much onus is put on people of color, obviously, to de-escalate a situation with police, and if you compare and weigh, I think what we really need to do in all this, like police reform, is to weigh just how long the requirements to be a police officer. I know the requirements in like Finland and Norway, places like that. It's like you have to have a college degree. You got to have 3 years of training, and like it was a
hours to be a hairdresser.
Yeah, but Finland and Scotland have to have black people there too, because they were showing me that training, but none of them have to deal with black people. It's like, what about the fear that's there? You know what I'm saying? True. Like the training is all cool, but what about the guy that you just inherently scared of just because of how they look? You know what I mean? Like, what's gonna train you with that? So I feel like once they go to Finland, get that training, they come back and they just have to live in a black neighborhood for a little while, and you just have to have like a Rick Ross nigga just jump out on them, woo! I know you just playing. I know you playing. Okay. Just to help with the escalation, fam.
There used to be a rule.
Rick Ross out of everybody.
Because I feel like to a white cop, Rick Ross is the scariest looking thing.
Ross.
Right. Anybody black.
Some of all their fears. Well, I mean, I would say this. Back in the day in New York City, there used to be a rule where if you were a police officer or a fireman, you had to actually live in the city.
That would help, right? I feel like that would help. You get an exposure. It's like racism in other countries. Like you go to London, it's like there's not that inherent level of racism that we have here because those white people are used to like black people from not just black but from different countries. So they're
I mean, to be fair, they colonized all those fucking countries, and they had they were allowed to have citizenship there. So,
right, it was the ultimate group.
But because of that, like the racism definitely, is different. It's more classism.
Yeah,
there's a curry flavor to it.
Racism. Yeah, they do.
It's classy as racism. Yeah.
Nice finish. It's like
they're like, hey, it's not because you're black, it's because you're from specifically Nigeria. You know what I mean?
It's very informed racism.
Yes, at least be informed, motherfucker.
I would take that shit over what we got.
Oh man, these Karens out here. Oh, this bitch in Central Park, the Amy Coopers.
Oh man, these Karens.
Yo. The Amy Cooper thing, when I saw Chris Cooper, I had seen that birding documentary. Okay, so inner joke there, but I'd seen the birding documentary that he was in, Chris Cooper, because I was interested in it. But the reason why Chris Cooper got in trouble, so to speak, was because he was doing to Amy Cooper what Amy Cooper does to everyone. Did you notice he said, your dog should be on leash right now, right? So this lady, she was like, does not compute coming out of Negro's mouth. And then I think that's what really enraged her, because that's what white folks
like, how dare you talk to me? Yes.
Yeah. About my dog. Meanwhile, the dog's like, help me. Help me.
Meanwhile, the dog is trying to find his Black Lives Matter side.
He's like, I'm trying to join the protest. This bitch is crazy. And I'm the bitch for real. You know what I mean?
Questions. Let's get to some. We have so many questions.
Some questions. These questions.
I thought this was it because I was having a great time. Yeah, let's get to some questions.
Yeah, let's get to some questions.
All right.
Yeah.
Hold up. We have some insane questions, but let's get to them.
Go.
Okay.
Thanks for making questions, Jordan. God damn it.
What? Here's one. Adulting question. What the fuck does one do to care for elderly parents in their 80s who live on the other coast during this pandemic? Fly there and expose them to germs? Fly there and quarantine for 2 weeks, only to turn around and fly back? Let them wallow in isolation/depression, punctuated by weekend Zooms?
Oof.
I have an answer because my dad is 70 and high risk, and I was in a hot spot of New York, and so I had to take precautions before I got here. That's why I stayed there so long. You first of all, you don't fly, you road trip. You road trip there. You map out your road trip. You map out where you can stop. You get tested a fucking lot because the test rate right now for a positive test is like 65%. So you get tested at least 2-3 times, and then you go there, and then you be careful, but you gotta get tested first. Then like make sure you're good, and then you like carefully make your way across the country. It took 2.5 days to get here, but like we did it. You know what I mean? Like and I think the best way to do it, road trip seems long, but you break it up. If you have somebody that you know is quarantined well and they're tested as well, you can plan your stops. So you plan, you can stop wherever you have a friend that's been quarantined, and you stop there, and then you just make your way. But
also, as of now, this might be the time to fly because the airport is empty and clean. The planes are also empty and clean. And there are a lot of dummies not wearing masks, which fucking sucks. But you can be an asshole and ask them to put a mask on because they have masks on the plane and they have wipes and all that shit. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not encouraging people to fly, but I'm just like,
if you have to.
If you have to, yeah, there are ways to, do it. And that's really smart. That's a really smart answer. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, I have my first flight coming up, yo. Like, I gotta make it to LA, so I'm gonna. But there's 2 planes. You have to get on 2 planes to get to Mississippi. So we're gonna drive to Memphis, and then so I'm gonna take a direct to LA.
Yeah,
So like, and I'm dreading this flight, bro. But like, I mean, I have friends who fly, and it is clean. To Michelle's point, is like it's still, they're a clean airline. Just find the airlines that are clean. Alaska, American.
Yeah, can't fly out of Jackson anymore. Jackson Airport falling apart.
No, sir.
Let's get to the next question.
All right, next question. How do you learn how to bargain for a deal when buying a car and still sound like a bit, not my words, a bitch who knows what she's doing?
That's so hard, man, because men that sell cars are fucking assholes. And whether you are a man or a woman, they want to make you feel like you don't know shit. And it's just like the numbers are right there. So so I feel like do the research because there's a bunch of articles that will tell you the right time to buy or lease a car. Do the research on the car, do the research on the place that you're gonna buy the car. And there's even YouTube videos because we just got a minivan. Don't judge.
Hi, Mama Life.
Yeah, okay, I mean, with these titties and those twins, I need bucket seats, motherfucker. So yeah, you can even YouTube videos of how to talk to people, in a car place because they're fucking assholes.
Here's a way that you don't have to do any of that. I'm just letting you know.
Bring a friend.
Bring a friend. Bring Sue Zorman. No, you do this thing on AAA that I bought my car with, which is where AAA actually negotiates the price ahead of time to give you the best price, period. And then you go and you pick up that car, the AAA negotiated price, and it was fantastic. And I've had that car since 2007. That's right.
Oh,
it's the best car in the world.
Okay, Black Suze, thank you so much. What's the next question?
Dope. I have a non-adulting answer, and it's bring a briefcase of money, put that nigga in a headlock, and say this is what I got. What the fuck I got, bro? Say something else, nigga.
Okay, Better Call Saul. Thank you so much.
You know he got a ponytail, so just pull that a little bit. He'll get
What's
happens at Suzuki. They're just at the Suzuki dealership in Patterson, New Jersey. Come on, man. Hold up. All right. Here's another one. Yeah. How can I feel adult when I'm 32 and doing a damn internship to ride out this whack-ass Corona job market?
Shit.
That's a good question.
Like real talk, an adult will do whatever the fuck they need to do to get to the next side of wherever the fuck they want to be. So don't look at it like that right now. This is just a brick in the wall that you are building of happiness.
Yes. And ageism is a myth, yo. Ageism is a myth. Your success and the level of your success happens when it happens.
When it's supposed to.
Yeah. I could take that from somebody who was broke till literally 30 years old. Like, you think you make all these plans and it's just like, let God, I don't know what you believe in, but let God and the universe like guide you and stop like measuring your success or your adulthood on your age.
Yeah, by a Refinery 29 article. Next.
All right. Next question. This is weird. Wallpaper in or out?
Oh, that chick asked the question. She wants to wallpaper her house or like a room, but she's like, should I? DIY shit is a very hard to commit to, especially if you're not artistic. But
Yeah.
I understand being quarantined and you just need to look at something fucking different.
Right.
So you just need like a new pillow. You know what I mean? So I get it. I say do it. I say go big and bold. Act like it's Beyonce's bathroom or Elton John's
Make
closet.
it fly. Make it fly. I have like a little black gator skin on one wall. That shit is. I do not regret it. It's just.
Oh, for real?
Okay,
Yeah.
That sounds fire.
Fly, yo.
All right, HGTV.
But if your shit look like a Christmas present, I'm like, it's my wall. Nah, nigga. That is a bad gift. Take that
I
shit.
say do it. It's for nobody else but you. No one's gonna come into your apartment.
Right. That's real.
That's the other piece.
Now you're insuring it. Yeah, absolutely. So here's another one. I have a question about adulting. I just got a full-time job. It's a night shift job, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. at a senior center. Any tips for working nights? Michelle, you have done that.
Oh yeah, I did midnight to 9:30 a.m. I was tipsy a lot. You can't go in straight up drunk because people can smell it. But if you're a little tipsy, it's like, ooh, why is she so happy and creative?
Yeah.
Also, water is your friend. I mean, coffee is great, but water is your friend. And jumping jacks, when you feel tired, and if you do feel tired, just take 5 minutes in the closet in a chair. If you can nap properly and efficiently, you can get through the night shift. And also, go to sleep as soon as you come home. Don't try to stay up and do shit. Do what your body needs. SNL is like an overnight.
Yeah, I was about to say, come on.
Yeah. All that shit you said is perfect. I also worked overnight in Target, and I will say SNL is better than that. It was so trash.
Do you still have the khakis?
Man, yeah. And overnight, you're like, no one's gonna see this terrible outfit. I'm gonna wear my jeans. Time your coffees. If you're a coffee drinker, you gotta time those coffees out.
Yeah, you can't peak too soon.
Because
you
that come down from coffee.
It's crazy, and
come down.
And then you don't want to have one too close to getting off because then you can't sleep. And don't get
coming
like
down from coffee on an overnight shift is like getting a little too drunk on a plane. You're like, oh fuck, how do I manage this shit?
I've been there. Where I'm like, I feel way too turned up for these niggas.
It's the worst. I'm just like,
back to school.
You watch it. That was good.
Right. Just like knowing you shouldn't be talking.
Can I get another pasta?
Why nobody else dancing? This is crazy.
That's the worst.
Did you ever do a Black Friday? Chris, you ever have to do a Black Friday?
It was all the same to me. I was selling drugs at the same time, so all of this was a hustle, bro. It was real talk. It was all a hustle. I can say it now, nigga. They can't lock me up no more. It was amazing. Like I didn't care. If people had that like they had those worries like Black Friday's gonna be busy. All this shit is shit work to me, nigga. They gonna be doing all that. I'm gonna be doing all of this. We all great.
Yes. Yes. I'm learning so much.
That was the answer right there.
You know everything.
No, I've had 50 jobs, yo. It's been a long life already.
Wow. We're coming to the end of the hour, but we have one or two more questions. Y'all ready for one or two more?
Yes, I'm ready for three more.
All right, three more. Adulting question. How do you survive living with family / roommates without taking out your frustration on them from everything going on?
Ooh,
says John Barton.
Ooh.
I mean,
I live alone, but I don't know how
it's normal.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say I live alone. I don't know how it's possible to not take out this shit on other people. Like I couldn't imagine being around people constantly and not kind of like spazzing out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I would say get your own place, so that when you with your people, it's a visit, and it's not you living with them. But yeah, I mean, if I wouldn't know how. I mean, the disagreements. Isn't that what family does? Like you have disagreements and you like talk your way and debate your way through shit. You don't have to agree on anything. But I don't know. I can't speak too much to it because I've been living on my own for a long time. So
this is, but we were just talking about this because when I posted about this show or this whatever the fuck this is, I was like, somebody told me yesterday that I need to be more positive, and I'm just like, fuck your positivity because there's so much shit going on in the world. And if it's not the president tweeting some shit about not kneeling at a fucking game, it's DACA, it's the Supreme Court, it's Pride, it's this. There are so many fucking reasons to be upset. If you're not upset, are you really fucking thinking about it? But I do realize there are 24 hours in the day, and I'm up like, what, 16 of them or some shit, kids. And so I do need to be thoughtful and figure out how to, you know, get through the day. And, you know, my whole thing that I keep telling myself, it's okay not to be okay. And if you're with other people, I think it's normal and healthy to fucking be in a bad mood and grumpy and be like, fuck this, and why'd you do that? But then you get to get over it. You know what I mean? It's like, why we got to watch a show or a movie? People aren't going to make up at some point. So that's what life fucking is. So I don't know. Edibles help too.
Breathing techniques. They say breathing techniques and communication of like, hey, I can't stand your energy right now. Let's take an hour break and go to the separate parts of the room or the house and then come back together at you know when we feel natural. So that too.
Yeah, we were talking about toxic positivity too, but we'll just talk about that another time.
Ooh,
what's the next question?
Positivity. Oh, I like that.
Hold up. Here's the question. Hang on. What is an appropriate age to call someone younger kiddo?
Not what?
Someone younger than you. Can you call them kiddo? And what age is that? When is it appropriate?
I don't know. That's a dumbass question.
No age say kiddo to anybody. Like what are
if they're not 10 or younger, don't call them kiddo.
If they're not a cartoon character, don't call them kiddo.
Also, why are you calling a kid kiddo? That's what Clint Eastwood in every movie. Get out of here.
All right, kiddo. I feel like that's the character that tells you something right before you die. Go get him, kiddo. He's not gonna make it. He is not.
All right, this last question.
Oh my God.
It's a long question. It's a long question, but we're gonna get through it because I think it's actually a very important one. Okay. Here it is. Adulting question. I'm recovering from COVID-19. Yep, it sucks. Despite being super vigilant with masks and quarantine, social distancing, sanitizing. The shit is contagious, yo, and I know I got this. And I have 63 friends, community members die from it because people couldn't be surrounded by YT libs who once they heard the demographics of who was dying from this legit cannot be bothered. So how do I handle either grace from the experience of yet again seeing all my neighbors out and about with their masks when I have to struggle through walking my dog 1 block? How do I be an adult who is also very mad about the privilege they're signifying out here in their bare faces? And how do I not vandalize their property or scream at them? I'm a real fighter and have zero qualms about stepping forward into bullshit. But I can't be out here loudly muttering under my mask about what a bunch of racist assholes they are. Kinda exhausting. Thanks, love you, bye, with grace.
Did Chris write this?
I know. I'm sitting here like, nigga, when did I?
Sincerely, Chris Red. Oh, okay, cool, man.
Because I'm like, do all the things you do all the things you're questioning, baby.
Yeah.
Do every single one of them.
That's tough. No, that's the thing about this COVID shit. It's tough because, like, let's say, you know, certain neighborhoods, everyone's got a Black Lives Matter sign up, right? And you just know how everybody thinks. They're on the right. So other neighborhoods have Trump signs, and you know how people think. But with COVID, this is a real question of, well, what do you think is real or not? Because you cannot deny science and a fucking virus. And if the CDC is telling you this is what we should be doing, then why are you not doing it? So the entitlement of it all, because I'm like, you also are putting other people at danger is fucking insane. So I'm a real say something kind of bitch, but I've really had to, you know, put that on the back burner because I can't yell at someone. I'm putting myself at risk. Oh, I miss yelling at people, but I can't. I do. I miss road rage and stage rage. But you know, the best thing you could do is walk the fuck away, because in the beginning of this, people were yelling at each other in New York, you know, like, yeah. I remember my husband he's a white dude. He walked out of pharmacy, nobody on the street. He was on the phone. So he had his mask down like by the chin, and these ladies rolled up in a car and they're like, put your mask on, motherfucker. And I'm like, oh, they doing that shit to white men? These poor Asian people, like, shit's getting fucking bananas. It's Hunger Games. You know what I mean? I'm like,
crazy. I had had two people outside my spot in Harlem fighting. Like they were like, yo, give me 6 feet, nigga. Who give me 6 feet, nigga? They were in each other's faces. I was like, yo, both of y'all losing this fight. This is the most New York fight I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that's your shit. You gotta step the fuck away. What do you think?
Don, what do you think, man?
I feel like everything that person was questioning, like Chris was saying, they might as well just go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? Like we're at the point now where I just realized that people were politicizing science. Like people were wearing face masks into a political issue, and it has nothing to do with who you vote for or what you think of the government. It's literally just, do you care enough about yourself to not infect other people, and do you care enough about other people to not infect yourself? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's public health.
It's a weakness sheep mentality that they politicize with science. So like if you go along with science, you're a sheep. It's like, bro, no, science is how all of this is. No, it's like it shows the importance of having a leader for real, because no matter how many free thinkers there are in the world, there's always gonna be people who just need the person in charge to be like, yo, this is.
I want somebody smarter than me, not meaner than me.
Right, that's it. So if this dude's gonna sit here and tweet from his toilet, bro, you just gonna have to tell your neighbors, put your stupid ass mask on with your stupid ass. Like, hope for the best.
I mean,
man, that's it right there.
Across from Park Island, where they're doing the mass burials for the people who have died from COVID alone.
Mm-hmm.
And so I see the refrigerated trucks coming in once a week, and the police helicopters for security, and I see the tractors. They've been digging for 2 months now, and I don't know how you could, to not put a mask on, to say it's not real. You're also, denying that these people have died and not respecting them.
Right.
That's so fucked up. And I wish the New York Times, I'm really glad that they did that beautiful tribute to everybody in New York who's died from like 22 to 92. But I really wish they just would have put faces with them as well to make it more motherfucking real, because this is some real ass shit.
Yeah.
But people are attacking truth. So if you attack truth and you attack science and you make it objective, which it's not, it's like it's just, or excuse me, subjective, which it is not. It is objective truth. There's no questioning it. You can catch it, you can die. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I get mad dark. I say, well, maybe I'll get your shit at the estate sale, because I'm gonna take care of myself and I'm gonna stay healthy. But if you're not,
shit.
Hey,
I'm just saying, man, we've done everything we can. We've done everything we can, and you're not listening. It's like,
if I see your credenza on the sidewalk during bulk garbage day, I'm gonna fucking inquire about your 2-bedroom.
Take your shit.
I'm gonna get that. It's so annoying watching like Floridians being like, the cases are rising. What? It's like, we've been saying this forever, bro. Like, it's just, it's annoying, man. So I don't know. I don't know if we even answered her question fully. I think we did, actually. I think you just.
And sometimes you just have to
blast that person in the face that's not wearing a mask. That's what we said.
Yeah, stop putting opinions over facts. That's it. That's for me. That's it. Like, this opinions over fact shit is stupid.
Exactly.
Yeah, put that shit on your mask.
For real.
Well, fuck. Thank you so much, Chris. God damn.
All day, man. I miss y'all. I miss the stage.
Yeah,
love
man.
the show.
Yeah.
Listen, can you do me a favor, man?
What's up?
You take a drive around the reservoir for me.
I will. I will. I'm gonna drive slow too. So hold the track. I ain't been out the house. We good. Y'all good? Ain't got nowhere to go.
All right, man. All right. Wow. It was a pleasure, brother.
Man, appreciate it, man. Hope I see y'all soon in real life.
Real talk.
Right. Wash those hands. So, I can't believe we actually did this, but we have time for one more thing, by the way.
Yes.
You want to say something, please? Please.
So,
please.
Christian is our producer, and he has been, I don't even know how many months he has been texting me and Jordan and Don. He's like, we got to get together. We got to do this. You've been out in the streets. You've been, you work for the Daily Show. You have, you're the most advocate of them all. So, how the fuck are you, motherfucker?
What a question. I've been hurting
a
bit. Yeah, it's hard I need to I know like how are you? That question's been pummeled at me, and it's just I feel like shit, I feel like shit every day, but I wake up more hopeful. The one thing that I have to say is that the solidarity of New York has just erased all the cynicism that I felt for the past of quarantine. I really believe in this place, and it's held me up, and it's something I didn't immediately think would happen, and I just I don't know. I feel touched by everyone that's helped me out. I've been out here donating, soliciting fundraisers, just handing out my own kits of sanitizer and masks with my crew, and it's tough to be out there. I've gotten pepper sprayed. It's been war out here, but it's been nice to know that New York has my back.
Well, I want to say something too, Christian. I mean, ever since I've known you, and I've known you in a while, since 2017 or so, and I have to say that you've come a long way as far as your consciousness, and I mean, you were always a very highly intelligent person that I shared a cubicle wall with, but but to see you now, how do you feel it feels as though you were, the biggest things in your life were Patriot football and getting the job done at NTV. What is it now? What do you wake up thinking about now? I mean, I know it's pretty obvious, but is this also part of your evolution? You know what I'm saying? Your awakening.
I'll never negate that, but I was actually thinking about this. I was thinking you'd ask me the same question. It's it's like I woke up one day and I forgot to brush my teeth, and I walked down the stairs and didn't say hi to my roommate, and walked out the door and just started fucking marching. I just there was nothing else to do. This shit right now is the most important thing I've ever done, and I just want everyone to feel that. And it's not hyperbolic. It's literally life and death for me.
Yeah.
And I love my job at the Daily Show. God bless you, Trevor. You're a great boss, but it's not as important to me as fucking helping this cause. And
so let's
just to piggyback off what you're saying, the marches and the protests are causing actual change. So it feels as important as it feels for you to do, as important as it feels for you to do, it's actually showing tangible results. So you know what I'm saying? I don't want you to feel like a person that's banging your head against the wall and pushing the wall and the wall's not moving. You might not be able to see the other side of the wall, but the dust is falling, the bricks are moving. This shit is they today arrested started firing one of the officers that shot Brianna
from Kentucky. That's
so yeah. It's just again.
But let's put it this way. Let's put it in perspective from older people.
Sure.
I'm 137 years old, right? So the thing about it is, to see the Confederate monuments come down, that was something that as a child, I thought I just had to live with. That I thought was it didn't signify anything to me. I said, I see this and I think it's just a bunch of losers, but I never thought that it would ever come down. I thought it would be there forever, but that we would kind of live around it or work around it. And those that understood what was going on had connections, and we didn't really have to, we didn't have to worry about Robert E. Lee that much. He didn't scare me, you know what I'm saying? But this generation understands that it's just not just a war that you win, but a peace as well. So that when that Reconstruction was actually lost, and that white supremacy actually
I will say this too, to piggyback off of what Jordan is saying. there is something happening that is bigger than us. Between the Me Too and Time's Up movement, I never thought I can go into a room and say to executives and say, so-and-so said something and that they might believe me.
Yeah.
I never thought that I could, wear something to a comedy club and be worried what this says to people and like, oh, am I gonna get the spot because I don't want to fuck the headliner? You know what I mean? So shit is changing and shifting. I have to try and be positive and always look at the bigger picture because it's bigger than me and it's bigger than us. And what the fuck is it, right? And it really is the universe learning about what recycling is and just plunging the fuck out of everything. And we're just caught up in this fucking dryer of like, what the fuck? And I do believe Obama was the greatest president we've ever had. And I felt safe. And in turn, we have this motherfucker. But he really also is the straw that broke the camel toe because we can't get to him yet. We are getting everybody else out the way and saying, no, you should be held accountable. That's not right. Protect our girls, protect our children, protect our trans people, protect our Black people, defund the police. And now we are out here fucking screaming it. And now we have what we always needed, white allies. Thank you so much, white people, for standing up, for sticking up, for stomping the ground.
Yo, the white niggas be out there. They be out there just
out there.
On the wrong
the video.
Clapping and shit, just like,
Ooh.
oh, that
On the 2 and the 4?
no iota of what like the chance should be, but they're out there in force.
Well, you have to
stop with the electric slide.
Yeah, like just skip.
You don't need the electric slide.
Just keep coming out in force. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. But I will say, if I may, like I'm not gonna put all that importance on Obama. I feel like from Obama came, I don't know, the pivot to the worst entity we've ever seen. Like, how can I just be like, Obama changed everything when we're in the middle of just like a cataclysmic paradigm shift, in which I have to like, for the first time,
but we know it's possible. What if it was Bush Trump?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Well, I think that there's always a backlash and there's reconstruction, and I feel like Obama was definitely a reconstruction president. More than we know, he was actually a reconstruction president because the backlash that came after reconstruction was Jim Crow and segregation and mass incarceration. Mm-hmm. So once you give people a taste of freedom, and the white supremacist power structure like has to deal with it, they lose it, and the frailty of it all, like it's too much, it consumes them, and then they basically come up with someone like a Trump, right? So that person rises. But I feel like this, man. I know that I want to congratulate you for the work that you're doing. I want you to tell you that you are close to the heat of it all. So what we're seeing as older folks watching you is inspirational. And I would ask one thing, which is how can people watching this, how can they get involved? How can they, if they can't get involved, let's say they're infirmed at home, where can they send that Venmo dough? Like people want to know. People want to help, man.
I'd say at me on Instagram at That Boy Banda. I've never asked for anything really, but if I have a spreadsheet full of like organizations that need help, and like I'd say optimally it goes to defund the police, to Black trans women, and then it goes to Breonna Taylor because those niggas are still out here walking. Like those are my 3 fucking pinpoints. I think I want to like center in on Black trans people because intersectionality means that like you have to fend for whatever society deems as the lowest common denominator, right? Mm-hmm. And in that saying, it means that like Black trans women are like the most they're getting murdered on the streets. Like once you fend for Black trans women, you fend for the rest of humanity. So it's not a political statement to say that, hey, I have to fend for these Black trans people. It is just a human statement to say like, yo, once I look out for these people that are most hurt at, like I can fucking just progress change throughout the whole fucking system. So like I'd say direct your money to any Black trans fund that means something to you and to me, and just fucking go for it.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. And to that point, actually, Laverne Cox has a oh God, I really want to get this in. Where is it? She has got a it's a movie on Netflix. It's a documentary. Wait a minute.
A documentary on Netflix right now?
Yeah, it's called Disclosure. It looks at the history of trans representation on screen.
Wow.
Today on Netflix. And I want to promote the shit out of that film because I really would love people to understand the beauty of trans people and people. You know, it's like, if you don't understand something, that's fine. If you want to judge it, okay. But to say that they don't matter is just wrong.
Right.
It's wrong and defeats our whole purpose. Like we're not just fighting for us, we're fighting for everybody.
We always have to look out for our neighbor, and we always have to look out for our neighbor, you know? Ooh, it's so frustrating when people only want to look in their own yard and just say, well, I don't care. I'm not gay. I never want to get married. So why do I care? It's like, ooh, you're going to have so many gay children and grandchildren.
I think that's how the culture in power stays in power, right? That you allow one on the boat, but one has to stay off. So society accepts at this point, generally, right? They accept gays, right? Lesbian, but, and maybe white, trans, you know, but not Black.
Yeah,
trans,
Caitlyn
right?
Jenner's out here fucking getting awards and shaking hands and voting for Trump. So yeah.
But my point being that if one person is off the boat, right? Then like, okay, let's say it's gays can more readily lead what you would call a normal existence, adopting children, marrying, having white picket fence in the whole 9 yards. Are they then worried once their material needs are met? Do they give a shit about trans folks? You know what I'm saying? Because that's the allure of it. You basically stop fighting maybe for those that have that still need to make it over that hump. And I think that happens a lot in America. I'm not saying that's what gay people do. I'm saying that's the temptation.
Okay, I see your point. That was beautiful as fuck. I love you guys. I gotta go. These kids, I can hear them screaming for me.
I have so much more to say. I love you guys so much. We
love you too. We miss you, man.
Yeah, I miss you guys. I miss life.
Wait to be in Union Hall, just fucking drinking rosé with y'all, just having people on just to fuck it up.
Don, I miss you most of all.
One day we'll get there.
Don, you gave us no Jamaican air horn.
DJ Don Will, thank you. Honestly, before we go, I called him on his birthday, and he just gave me the most sage wisdom I've heard in 4 months. He just had it out. I appreciate you so much.
I love you, man.
I love you too, Don Will.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for wishing me a happy Father's Day.
Thank you for watching, everybody. Okay,
Father's Day? It's not Father's Day yet, nigga.
Sunday. Where's my happy Father's Day?
I will call you, nigga. Fuck out of here. Bye.
Yes. More yes.
Oh, y'all got famous.
Oh, yeah. You're the Pokemon. I'm meeting. Goodbye.
That was fantastic.